Ag producers like your local TV weatherman would love to have a crystal ball that can help them predict what's to come during the next crop year. However, the LSU AgCenter's Ag Outlook conference offers the next best thing. Weather looks to be one of the major variables on farmers' minds in crop year 2010.
Weather has been a deal breaker for many of the producers here at the LSU AgCenter's Outlook conference. For 2 years straight, great crops and potentially even better yields have been crushed by bad weather. So it was no surprise that state climatologist Jay Grimes was first up to talk about what's been vexing farmers the most.
The bottom line is, and farmers know this, they have to try and be as flexible as possible, because our science just isn't that good yet to really anticipate who's going to get what, when, and where.
Grimes says Louisiana has the most to lose in the global warming debate. Sea level rise could threaten producers along the coastal zone, but as for the rest of the state, he says
the most important part of any potential climate change or global warming that Louisiana is going to experience is not a 1 or 2 or even 3 degree temperature change. It's that this variability may in fact increase. In other words, the range of what could happen may get bigger. It could get drier more often, and we could also see more frequent flooding.
Climate change and ag policy come to a crossroads when it comes to questions about cap and trade legislation. Restricting carbon emissions from livestock or rice fields is a huge concern for Louisiana producers. Joe Outlaw, an economist from Texas A&M, says the legislation could be a huge negative for ag producers.
Any additional financial burden in terms of higher costs is going to put them in a severe disadvantage. And I think that message has been relayed to the agriculture committees of both House and Senate. But the average congressperson needs to know in Washington that this is something that's going to have costs. It's not just benefit.
National economic recovery will be critical to a market rebound for the ag sector. LSU economist Dick Terrell predicts a slow to moderate recovery, but producers should be wary of inflation.
I think if you had inflation, you could see significant increases in those input costs. I think what the consensus forecast is fairly modest inflation for 2010, and then there's a real concern about more inflation in 2011.
Oil prices may shape the 2010 crop outlook. Input costs usually follow the price of crude oil, and according to some economists, oil prices are expected to increase slightly as the overall economy continues to recover.